So what inspired me to create the JAFA app? We were all students, so co-founders and I, doing an MBA at a university. And we had this idea, and it started off as a student project. And gradually, as we went throughout the year, started growing legs. And then we decided to jump at the end of the year, and we had some investors that wanted to give us some money to kind of move it forwards. And it was the World Cup the following summer, and we thought, you know what? It's a year of our lives. Let's give it a go. And that was how we started the JAFA app. So how did I cope with the demands on my time at the start of the journey? I think crucially, one of the things was I'm a massive football fan. So work is fun for me. We get to work in football, which is something which I've always wanted to do. So at the start of the journey, especially, and even still today, I have to keep reminding myself that I'm still working in football, and it's a great passion of mine. It's really fun. So in terms of kind of my time, I know it sounds cliche, but I just got up early. I have done for a long time now. Getting up early, keeping fit, keeping healthy, and just trying to find more hours in the day. I think the other really important thing is when you don't know something, admit to yourself you don't know and try and find people that do know, because that really helps. You can spend hours struggling trying to find ways to do things or ask for help. And I think that's a really important piece to remember. So in terms of marketing strategies and getting JAFA's name out there, I had to just hustle really and just try and find people everywhere. Had a cap made. I was wearing it every day to work, still wearing it now. All the staff are wearing it in on their commutes. Trying to speak to as many people as possible, get them to download the app, get them to invite their friends, as well as learn the basics of online marketing and digital marketing. Ultimately, you've got a mobile app where you want people to download. You want to make that as easy as possible. So putting download buttons on the website and making sure that people had an easy ability to just click and download, making sure that you gave users a great experience so that they were encouraged to invite their friends. Those were two of the key categories for us, but also looking at digital marketing, Facebook adverts, Google adverts. Obviously that came a bit later in the journey when we really wanted to grow and scale it, but it was really important to get an understanding and a real, I suppose, hustle to everyone you speak to. There's always a potential user there, and if it's not them, they might know someone, and just really driving it forwards that way. So what's the best and the worst thing about running your own business? I think the best thing about running your own business is that you're actually running your own business and you're your own boss. You get to set your own schedule, your calendar. You're in control of your own destiny. For me, a simple thing, but I like to keep fit, and the gym is rammed in the mornings. So I decided, well, why don't I just go at like 10 a.m. a bit later on when it's not as busy? That was a real, one of the things that you can do as a founder and as a business owner is set your own schedule. The worst thing I think about having your own business is the fact that you are your own boss and you're having your own business. There's no one pushing you. There's no one driving you to do it. It's all up to you. If you want to stay in bed all day, you can stay in bed all day. There's no one stopping you, but that isn't going to get you where you need to be. And sometimes being your own boss is the hardest boss you'll ever have. So what advice I'd give to people starting their own business? But make sure it's something you love, because you're going to live and breathe it every single day. So make sure it's something you're passionate about and that you love doing. And also make sure you validate it. And I'm not talking about talk to your friends or your family. Beyond that, people you don't know. Get really comfortable with talking about the uncomfortable nature of finding out and testing your idea, because ideas change. JAFA's changed, and that year when we were at university, it changed many times from speaking to different people around what do people actually want. And that's one thing you really need to learn is what do people want, how much they'll pay for it, and will they actually do it? And I think the more you can test those assumptions gives you real confidence that what you're doing is the right thing. So what's the biggest lesson I've learned on my journey so far? I think how little you know, and I think you keep learning all the time throughout the whole journey, and there's no end to that learning process. But the biggest one for me is how all-consuming that having your own business is. You do literally live and breathe it every single day, and that can get in the way sometimes, especially sport and football. There's football on every single night, every single weekend, and it's very, very tough to switch off and have a balance between work and a personal life as well. So making sure that you have real good opportunities to learn, but also making sure that you compartmentalize well, and able to separate your personal life from your work life, because it's very, very tough to switch off completely. So who and what inspires me? I think this question is great. It's really easy to look to celebrities and people that have done stuff, and the media's put them on a pedestal. But actually, there's a lot of hard graft and determination that have gone on to most of their journeys. And for me, I think I need to relate to it. I need to be able to understand it. So I draw inspiration closer to home, when I look at friends, even family, what they go on to achieve. Yes, they might be small in comparison to what the celebrities do, but those small things make you believe that a small win added to a small win gets you to a great place. Whether that's friends starting up a side hustle and getting it off the ground, and getting it to be something, whether it's a friend just doing really well at their job and getting promoted and having a big achievement. I think you can draw inspiration from loads of different places, and I think it's really important to look for that and to congratulate people on their wins, but also take that as an inspiration for yourself, that you can go on to do great things too. So what's the key to building a team that shares your vision? I think that's a really, really great question, because I don't think there's necessarily an answer for it, or not an answer that I found. I find that I speak to people about my business all the time, and I'm passionate about it. And the more you speak to people, and the more you get to learn what they like, what they don't like, what the real vision is, and do they share that passion. I think trying to build a team that all shares that passion, but you get better at communicating that passion, and you're better at communicating your business the more people you speak to. And I think when people are sitting there and wanting to apply to your business, that comes across, having a well communicated vision, because it's all great having the best vision in the world, but if no one can relate to it and no one can understand it, it's very tough to get behind and be motivated to work in a team. The more people you speak to, that vision gets better defined and better articulated, so you can communicate it. And I think that, and being able to continually communicate what that vision is and drive people towards it, that is the key to building a great team around a passion. So what's my favorite feature on the JAFA app? It's actually one we haven't released yet, so I've had some internal preview, but we've just built a whole fantastic communities functionality, where at the moment we've got the ability for users to debate and engage with each other through their own social feed. We've actually built communities and rooms where different fans can get together, invite their friends, have a little conversation there, be involved with the wider conversation with their other team fans who they don't know. And that's looking really powerful. So that's going to drop pretty soon. And yeah, look forward to sharing that with everyone else. So what's next for the business and for me and for Jaffa? I think from our perspective, we've just launched a new trading arm called Fan Insight, and what that is it's a data and insights business which allows organisations, so that could be clubs, could be brands that want to target and reach football fans, just to know and understand a bit more about what's going on in their minds, and allows them to get better data to target and reach them more effectively. So we've just launched that, and that's going great. Obviously making sure that we are still solving a purpose and solving a problem from the Jaffa app perspective. And for us, growing and scaling everything together is what's next. So ensuring that we get more users on the app, so continuing to drive that and continuing to drive a fantastic user experience for them, and continuing to provide a good service on the fan insight side of things to the organisations we serve and our clients. For me personally, being a part of that and driving that all forwards is definitely what's next for us over the next few years at Jaffa. So, which football team do I support? I'm not sure if I can answer this one, honestly, but to give you a clue, they play up north and they play in red. And there's two teams in the city, and they play in red and blue. And the team I support is unfortunately not going to win the Premier League this season.